right, guys, what's up? We're here just going over your homework for what's it? It's Tuesday. The first problem right here is 136. It's dealing with the peanuts and raisins that we did in class today. That was probably a little bit confusing for some of you. Just going to kind of go over this real quick, not trying to confuse anyone else. The first problem A is just talking about if Mark gave 3 raisins to Bob, shown below right here. So it kind of goes in order. If my mouse would start working, I guess it's highlighting everything. So it's everything that's kind of happening right there. Um, just down the line, and I guess I'm on my highlighter tool. So there you go. Just everything right here. Mark gives Bob 3 of his things, explain what happened. So I got the explanation right here. Just pretty much they want you to say what happened. So Bob has all the peanuts with 3 raisins, and Mark has no peanuts but 7 raisins. So you're just explaining what happened. Um, you could explain it any other way. That's just the way the book kind of told you to say it. So if you have something close to it, keep it. Don't erase it. The next one says to redraw this right here. Well, it's already there for you, so you wouldn't have to redraw it since you have a worksheet. So save your time from doing that. And if you did it, then great. Um, it says be sure to circle some of each of the total of 3. So basically, it would be saying if you circled if you just circled 3 here and gave them back, then Bob would have the same number of Mark's raisins as Bob's number of peanuts. So if they gave them back, then they're equal again. It's kind of like taking instead of taking these 3 right here and giving them back. So they both have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of each. The next part, C, it said start from the beginning, and so the beginning would be back to the top, right up here. So here's the beginning, and saying if you give 8 of Bob's, so if we circled 8 and brought them over, I can make an arrow here. Then we took 8 of Mark's and brought them over. What would happen? Well, basically, they would both have the same number of peanuts and raisins. Now, Bob would then have more raisins and Mark would have more peanuts. But the book is just probably wanting you to explain that they have the same number of peanuts and raisins. So moving away from that, coming to the 137, just a little question about Eli and how he walked down 12 feet. He continued straight out his door, a distance of 32 feet. Then he came back across his yard 14 feet to pet his dog named Daisy. So just drawing a diagram is anything as easy as draw a nice line right there, mark off. Let's see, he did 12 feet at first, right? Then he stopped and then he walked to 32 feet. So we can call this 32. And then eventually he could probably cut through his yard like all of us would do to get inside quicker. And that was 14 feet. So that's just a little diagram I drew. Yours can look somewhat like it, different, as long as you could figure out what happened there. So how far did he walk? Well, it's simply as adding 32, 12, and 14, right? Because you have to add the total he walked back. So that answer is 58. Make sure we label it 58 feet. So how far from the house is he now when he came back? So you have to add up your first total of 32 plus 12 and subtract that by 14. And he would be 18 feet from his house. So hopefully that one wasn't too complicated for you and you're just checking your answers or mute me or whatever. Now the next part right here, you're going to see this a lot, or not, probably a couple times this year. They have a red light right there. What that means when you have a red light is that there's something wrong. If you read the box right here, which kind of just ruined for you, you'll notice that something is wrong with the statement here. I'm not going to read it for you because I've talked too much already. So they ask you what you think. Is one picture incorrect? One picture is incorrect. And hopefully you've already noticed that this picture right here, those are not broken into 3 equal parts. So that's what you explain. Um, because if you look at the sides here, these are greater than the middle, as in this picture, we have 3 equal parts. So that was hopefully an easy one to look at. As long as you have something written there, you'll get credit. And the last two here, find the pattern. We had this the other night. I'm going to just kind of briefly show it to you here. As you notice that this is going up 3, down 2, up 3, down 2. Um, make sure you have your explanation. Um, that's what most of you missed the first night until you checked your homework. So if you have an explanation, it doesn't have to be exactly as mine, as long as it makes sense to you. Again, next one, look, going down 1, going down 2, going down 3, going down 4. So you finish the pattern. I'm not going to give you the answers there, so hopefully, looking at the pattern, I can give you the next two here. Like we all would know that would be 7 and then 5. And if you keep using the pattern, you should be able to figure that out. And same thing here. The next one would be 85, and then should be 79. And so on. So hopefully you have the next ones. Don't want to give you all the answers for some of you are going on here. Now the last one here, some people struggle with the rounding. I'm going to leave this up here for a second so you can pause it and read it through it again. So right through here, here's your answers to check after you are done. And someone's knocking at my door, so I am out of here. Hopefully the homework check helped you. Take it easy and see you soon.